Here in Atlantic City, New Jersey, just about set to go to our main event, that featuring Jesse Ferguson and Bruce Seldon. Two heavyweights with something to prove. Seldon has lost his last two. Ferguson is a guy who everybody says can beat anybody, but doesn't always do it.
Remember that Spencer Tracy movie, The Last Hurrah? Picture Jesse Ferguson as Spencer Tracy. Okay, it's a stretch, but you get the idea. Since this win over Buster Douglas back in 1985, Jesse's had a career of false starts. Here he had a chance to win the NABF title against Orland Norris, but in a dreary 12-round affair, he failed. He's had his good moments, too, like this excellent performance against Oliver McCall his last time out, but he would lose a decision, one he feels should have gone his way. Bruce Seldon wishes his last loss was by decision. It was a little bit worse, but I get ahead of myself. First, the good stuff. This was Seldon against Jose Ribalta. The Atlantic City Express, it was rolling, but he would slide off the track against McCall. He had his good moments, but when he fought Oliver, things would end badly. Ironically, this loss in 9 rounds would get him his big chance in boxing. And that chance came against Riddick Bowe, but Bowe simply overpowered him from the start. It was almost over from the beginning. And tonight, Bruce Seldon hopes to start the road back.
So let's talk about the keys to victory in this one, Al.
Seldon, forget to remember. Of course, he's got to forget about that loss. Be the boss. Come out with authority. That's what we're really talking about here. For Ferguson, express delivery, he's got to get that right hand to Bruce Seldon and get it there quickly. Out Oliver.
Do a little bit more than Oliver McCall.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, do more than him.
And the USBA rules, this is, after all, for a championship.
The 3 knockdown rule, there is none, and no standing 8, so it changes from what we're used to here in New Jersey. And the rest you can see, or as Barry would say, yamma, yamma, yamma.
I did say that once.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, here's Michael.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated, in association with the undisputed, undefeated King of Beer, Budweiser, bring to you the featured bout of the evening. This bout is sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, Boxing Commissioner Larry Hazard Sr., Chairman Jerry Gormley, board members Gary Shaw and Richard Harrison, Deputy Commissioners Lawrence Wallace, R. Yogi Hiltner. Representing the International Boxing Federation, here at ringside, supervisor for this bout, Marion Muhammad. The 3 judges assigned, scoring the bout on a 10-point must system, are Gene Williams, James Condon, and Eugene Grant. Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Frank B. Doggett. Attending physicians, Dr. Howard Taylor and Dr. Charles Wilson. The timekeeper is Lindsay Tucker. Counting for the knockdown seconds, alternate referee, Frank Cappuccino. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Trump Taj Mahal on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, New Jersey, let's get ready to rumble! 12 rounds of boxing. This is for the vacant IBF Intercontinental Heavyweight title. The referee for this contest is Rudy Battle. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks with white trim and weighing an even 235 pounds, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, North Philly to be exact. His professional record, 17 victories with 12 KOs against 6 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, Jesse the Boogeyman Ferguson. And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with gold trim, weighing in at an even 226 pounds. He's from Atlantic City, New Jersey, and brings a professional record of 18 victories, only 2 losses, 15 of those 18 victories by KO. Ladies and gentlemen, Bruce, the Atlantic City Express Seldon.
Okay, gentlemen, you've both received your pre-fight instructions. I want a nice, clean break. Let's have a nice, clean contest. Good luck to both of you. Let's touch gloves.
So let's make the correction right now. It is the USBA Intercontinental Championship, just for the record. Grand National, indoor, belts on the line. And here is Jesse Ferguson. And Ferguson, as we've said, has been in there against the very best in the heavyweight division. He beat Buster Douglas, was knocked out by Carl the Truth Williams in a war, a terrific fight. And Mike Tyson actually told me one time, nobody ever hit him any harder than Jesse Ferguson.
And I'm not surprised you said that to you. Jesse Ferguson landed some uppercuts that were superb in that bout. One thing you got to say, with the 6 weeks to prepare, Jesse Ferguson still has a little gut around the middle. That's surprising.
He does. And he told us, of course, he wants to just go out there and get him. Just take the fight to him. And that's what he's trying to do.
Well, and you know, Bruce Seldon's a guy that was knocked out in the first minute and a half of his last fight. I'd go after him myself if I was Jesse Ferguson. See if there's any residual shock for that.
Ferguson has been a sparring partner of just about everybody, but he says people want to spar with me, but they just don't want to fight me. And as a result of that, as we mentioned earlier, he's only had 5 fights in 5 years.
Bruce Seldon boxing, he's got an excellent jab. And against a shorter man like Ferguson, he can use those skills. He does not want to rumble right off the bat with Ferguson, I don't think.
The big question mark for Bruce Seldon is how much business does he do in the gym? He's a guy who would disappear from the gym at times. Against lesser opponents, he was able to get by, and as soon as he got in there against the upper echelon, he got whacked.
And Oliver, he went in against a very motivated Oliver McCall, who handled him. It was a close fight. He knocked him out in 9. There's Ferguson starting to land some, I almost said thunder on the inside, but no, that's not his name anymore.
Got to change it back, though.
Yeah. He's smothering his power, though. Ferguson's in a little too close to Seldon. Though Seldon doesn't fight that well on the inside, and I would be on the inside if I was Ferguson, maybe not that close.
Seldon does have an excellent jab. I really thought Bruce Seldon was going to be something special.
Well, he showed skills. I'm not sure that
Watch your heads.
after he lost the fight to McCall, he went in against Riddick Bowe. He might not have been ready for Riddick Bowe at that point. Ferguson not too active early here, which might be a mistake because getting Seldon early is not a bad idea, or trying to, as we mentioned.
Three-punch combination by Seldon.
You know, I don't think that Bruce Seldon is going to knock out Jesse Ferguson early. He's throwing big bombs, and that may be dangerous for him because he might get caught with something by Ferguson. See, look how straight up and how he leaves his head exposed with Bruce Seldon. And if Ferguson was a little more accurate and busier, he'd be landing.
So we come to the end of the first round. Both men still on their feet. Not a bad first round for Bruce Seldon. We'll be back.
Round 2.
We start the second round, and Jesse Ferguson in his corner, breathing rather heavy for just 3 minutes of boxing.
Well, he really was, and we've harped on the fact that he had time to prepare for this bout. Often he's taking him on last notice, but if he didn't prepare, that 6 weeks doesn't matter for him, does it?
He only landed 11 punches. So.
And only 2 of those were jabs, whereas Seldon landed 15 jabs in that round. You know, I have to say this, and I don't like to be denigrating right off the bat, but you know what? Jesse Ferguson's fighting these first 2 rounds like it's a sparring session. He can go, and I'm not suggesting he didn't come here to win, but somewhere in the back of his mind, he's not throwing those punches with as Gil Clancy, my pal, would say, bad intentions. He better start.
He's just trying to smother Seldon right now.
It isn't bad for him to be on the inside. It's just he's got to crank those shots up. Like that. Put leverage on those punches. He can punch hard. There's the uppercut. That's the punch for him. The one that hurt Tyson, the one that hurt Carl the Tooth Williams. He can land that against Seldon. He got Seldon's attention. Right now, he has changed Bruce Seldon in this bout if he can go after him. I'm telling you right now, that exchange on the inside told Bruce Seldon Jesse Ferguson can punch. If you've got a boxer who may or may not have doubts at this moment about himself, you better go after him. Ferguson's not doing it.
The biggest doubt about Bruce Seldon has been how much time he spends in the gym and how ready he gets himself for a fight. Now, this morning he told us he's ready. He got a wake-up call from those 2 losses. He opens up a little bit against Jesse Ferguson.
See, look at those. Those are excellent shots by Ferguson after Seldon had landed well. Good defense by Seldon, slipping punches. And the other thing about Seldon is defense and his ability to take a punch. Those are the questions. Offensively, he's got a very good arsenal. Good jab. You saw him throw the good shots to the body. But those other questions are the ones he has to answer. There's a hook by Ferguson. Excellent hook.
Ferguson's still doing a lot of pawing, a lot more pawing than punching.
Look at that, that left hook. He should be cranking there. The second one was almost the way he should throw it, but not twice. I know it's easy for me to say from outside the ring, but that punch is there for him. He's just not throwing it with conviction.
So Bruce Seldon is right there for Jesse Ferguson, but Ferguson not obliging.
Round 3.
Here's Jesse Ferguson. Now the left hook is there. Did he throw that as Ferguson misses with the right? Did Jesse Ferguson throw that with conviction and leverage? No, he did not.
Seldon starts this round a little more up-tempo.
And the thing I'm saying here is, Bruce Seldon is fighting this fight the way Jesse Ferguson wants it fought. And if Jesse Ferguson ends up losing this one, he's got only himself to blame.
Seldon missing most of these shots.
Bruce Seldon's going right to him. A bold move for Seldon. And maybe he wants to show the world, hey, I'm not impaired by that Bow loss and the McCall loss. I can get in here and rumble with somebody. But you know what? I don't know if that's his best move. And so far, it seems like Jesse Ferguson will only do in this bout what Seldon makes him do. Look at that left hook. It's wide open for Ferguson, and he's pawing with it. Now, I'm seldom this critical, and I think Jesse Ferguson's a very good guy and has done some good work in the sport, but right now he's not in there making a serious effort to win this fight.
Had me fooled this morning, I'll say that.
And I'm not saying he's completely dogging it, he's landing some, but he knows what he needs. He's a smart boxer also. He knows what he needs to do to win this bout. And I'm not taking away from Bruce Seldon either. Bruce Seldon is doing a lot of the things we saw him do early, except he's rolling with Ferguson, and that is something that you would think would benefit Ferguson. Good body work by Jesse Ferguson, and that's important. Look at that hook. It is right there for him. He threw that left hook like he wasn't even trying. That's the left hook. That's what he should be doing. He can do it every. Look at the jab. Those are punches with conviction. And it's what Jesse Ferguson is capable of. And when a boxer like Seldon stands right in front of him, Barry, and gives him a chance to throw those punches, it's what he's supposed to be doing. Let's give Bruce Seldon some credit. He's in there making an interesting match. He's not dancing around the ring just jabbing, which he could do, and it wouldn't be a bad move for him. He's making this an entertaining heavyweight match, as is now. There you go. That's what Ferguson does.
That stopped Seldon on the way in.
And let's give Bruce Seldon some credit. He's taken those shots, and he hasn't crumbled, as some people thought he might after the Bow fight. Maybe Bruce Seldon needs to prove it to himself. Maybe that's why he's standing in there with Ferguson.
And by the same token, maybe Ferguson's tactic is to let Seldon burn himself out a little bit because he has been wanting to do that.
That is possible. And it's become a very close round here now with the work Ferguson's done in the last couple of minutes. Whoa, excellent right.
Right to the top of the head. Staggered Ferguson at the bell.
Nickel and dime. Come on, Jess. Ain't nothing a little stretch. You got to dig on him, Jesse.
You got to stay close. Stay effective on the side, Jesse. But you got to start punching. You can't wait to let him get off your shot.
Slow, you're letting him get off first. Don't.
Who now?
Here is Jesse Ferguson, a very strong jab. He's got a good jab. And, of course, he's got a good left hook also.
Stay back in the corner. Stay back in the corner. Down 4. Looking good.
So we start the 4th round, and Jesse Ferguson's corner, you heard him say you got to get off first. You're letting him get off first.
And they were very adamant about that, and I think they were alluding to some of what I was saying. The fact that he needs to really throw those punches with conviction. There's the jab of Seldon. It's excellent.
He has a very good jab. There's no getting around that.
Much better hand speed than Ferguson. Here's where, when he's on the inside, of course, he's kind of giving Ferguson a chance.
There is a cut over the left eye, or maybe alongside the left eye of Jesse Ferguson, and it has started bleeding again. It happened at the end of the last round. There wasn't a lot of concern about it in the corner, but it is bleeding again.
There is one thing and one thing only that Jesse Ferguson needs to do to put himself, there it is. I was just going to say, all he needs to do, and I mean all, is stand in there when he's on the inside and just crank up double left hooks, and something's going to land, because you can't miss Bruce Seldon with a left hook on the inside. He's hit him almost every time he's thrown it. But he's not doing it, although he had done it in the previous round. And Seldon, to his credit, staying very, very busy.
Good body shot by Seldon a moment ago, really slowed Ferguson.
There it is! There it is! It's there every time! Every time you can land that punch.
And a right hand on the top of the head, and Seldon gets out of there. And he's saying it didn't hurt, and I promise it did.
It's simple. It's ridiculously simple for Jesse Ferguson. He should never stop throwing that hook right inside there. I mean, he's going to land it. There it is. I'm telling you, that punch can't miss for him.
That cut is bothering him a little bit, though. He keeps brushing at it.
And if he doubled the hook to the body and the head, I guarantee you the second hook would land every time. There it is, every time. It's amazing. Dip down low and crank the hook. That's all he has to do in this fight. Would be over in about 2 rounds. I assure you.
A lot of swelling around that left eye now, though, and I think there may be a little desperation. There's a big right hand by Ferguson.
Which set up the hook. And Seldon shaking his head, but I'll tell you what, keeps getting hit with those hooks. He'll have a problem. Whatever, it's a very entertaining and active heavyweight fight, which can't always be said about the heavyweight.
But the jab on the eye is clearly bothering Ferguson. Percy Richardson, one of the great cut men in the business, is going to have some work to do.
Seldon shaking his left hand. I wonder if it got hurt somewhere along the way.
That happened once before in a fight that we saw Bruce Seldon.
And let's give Seldon credit. I'm saying those left hooks can land all the time, but he has not gone down from them, and even though he looks stunned for a moment, so he is taking them.
And he's also dishing out a little bit, too.
Oh, yeah.
Jab has been very effective for Bruce Seldon. End of the 4th round. Some work to do in Ferguson's corner.
We continue our warm-up for the Winter Olympics with the 4th in our special series, The Road to Albertville. Profiles, predictions, and previews. The Road to Albertville, Tuesday night at 8 on Screen Sport.
The African Nations Cup is nearing its climax, but before Sunday's final, there's the 3rd place playoff between Nigeria and Cameroon. 2 teams hoping to put their semi-final disappointment behind them and finish on a winning note. The 3rd place playoff live and exclusive from Senegal tomorrow afternoon at 4:30 on Screen Sport.
Your mission every week is to scour the globe in pursuit of the hottest power sports action.
This is a special record offer, only available by phone, so please be ready with pen and paper. Classic Rock Classics has over 50 of the greatest rock tracks performed by the London Symphony Orchestra. Classic Rock Classics contains over 4 hours of powerful music, available on either 5 albums, 5 cassettes, or 5 compact discs. On Classic Rock Classics, the London Symphony Orchestra perform music from the world's greatest songwriters. Experience the power of classic rock classics. Order this unique presentation set by phoning one of the following numbers now. This offer comes with its own money-back guarantee, and please allow 21 days for delivery.
Well, if you want to know what the problem is, listen to the conversation in the corner.
I can't see him for me. I can't see him. Take a look at that eye. I get it.
And I can't see anything out of the corner of my left eye. And even after Percy Richardson did the work, after that little tape, he still said, I can't see.
Well, I'll tell you what. You know what? If I'm in that corner, I got to tell you, I've been second-guessing everybody all night. I might as well continue. I tell him, get in close. Don't even look. Just throw the left hook and keep throwing it until you think he might fall down. Because that's the answer, whether he can see or not. That time he landed a right hand, but that's what Jesse, it's his only hope in this fight right now. See, those missed by a little bit. They were close. Dip down and throw that hook. It's that simple. But I'll tell you, this bout is maybe a round away from being stopped because of that eye.
I think so, too. Here are the numbers in the fight. They are fairly close.
It is. It's close. I mean, it is close.
That eye does look pretty nasty now because there's a lot of swelling in addition to the blood.
And if he can't see, well, then you don't want this fight really to go on. And it is bothering Jesse Ferguson.
Yeah, it looked like it was bothering him in the last round, too, and it clearly was based on the conversation between rounds. And that eye looks pretty nasty. I would have to think, unless Ferguson, by some fluke, might be able to get him out of there, I have to think this may be the last round of the fight.
It probably will be, and that's why right in there, I don't know what there, just throw it. You might land it. I mean, first of all, it's got to be a double left, because if you feel him to the body, the next one to the head might very well land. There, look, it landed. I mean, he's got that punch. He's got that left hook right there, and his only hope is to crank it. And Seldon is making it easy for him by standing in, but it's not happening for Ferguson.
And he's really pawing at him now. You have an idea that Ferguson is thinking more about defense than he is about offense. Just get through this round and get out of here.
Now there's the hook to the body, and it should be followed with another one to the head. And Seldon, to hit, from his standpoint, throwing, there's the hook landing. It can land. Every time he throws it, that hurts Seldon again.
He came with a right hand behind it. It was a double left hook and a right hand.
Yes. And I think Bruce Seldon is making a tactical error by staying in there with him. I really think Bruce Seldon, who has the jab and the movement, should be using it now. Both men, I think, have made serious strategic errors in this bout.
And now we'll see what happens. Astoria, and I think Ferguson's saying that's it. 99% sure this is going to be over.
That cut and his vision problem.
Take your time, Jesse. Take your time.
You can't see, right? Okay.
You can't?
You can't see out of there.
That's it. They're going to stop it. He said they can't see. Everybody agrees. Well stopped. I think you can't argue with that.
Well, Bruce Seldon gets the win. And I'll tell you what he did show tonight. Let me tell you something. He showed he could take some pretty good bombs because Ferguson did throw some good punches. It probably boosted his confidence, and I have to wonder, we'll get a chance to talk to Bruce Seldon. He may have stood in there with him on purpose because he wanted to test himself. And for that man, Jesse Ferguson, even before he had the eye problem, I just think he made a serious strategic error. He didn't use what was working for him.
Yeah, the eye is clearly a problem, and Jesse Ferguson thinking discretion the better part of valor, and it's hard to argue with that.
No, not at all. And if that was a nasty cut, and if his vision is impaired, there's no reason ever to send him out for another round, under no circumstances.
And so Ferguson, and you can see that eye is virtually shut. Tough way to lose a fight for Ferguson, but Bruce Seldon, as you said, did prove something to himself and to the people watching.
He showed toughness in that he did take some good punches. From a strategic standpoint, No, I think there were some mistakes made by him in the ring because he could have boxed his way more easily to a victory, especially after the cut happened. He was standing in there and still did get hit with some of those shots. Maybe he felt there was no way he could be hurt. I don't know.
Let's go back to the third round. This is when the cut occurred. See if we can see it.
There is the jab that hit off the side of the eye. He dabs to his eye. That was where the cut occurred. Our guys in the truck, as usual, do a good job and find it. And those are the kind of punches that often do cause cuts that glance off the side of the eye. Or
might have even been a thumb. Yeah, that's exactly right. In any case, it did bother him in the following round, and he almost agreed grudgingly to go out there for this last round, but did so. Couldn't do anything about it. Let's get to Michael Buffer with the official word.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Rudy Battle stops this bout after getting the advice from Chief Medical Officer Dr. Frank B. Doggett. Because of a severe laceration over the left eye of Jesse Ferguson, the bout is stopped at the end of the 5th round. The winner, and now IBF Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion from Atlantic City, Bruce, the Atlantic City Express, Seldon.
Good win for Bruce Seldon, and this young man feels he's back, and he got his win tonight. That was the most important thing. We'll be back in just a moment.
Right now, we have a light heavyweight battle about to get underway here, and let's get it underway with Michael Buffer.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we go to the light heavyweight division. This bout, scheduled for 4 rounds, the referee is Rudy Battle. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing the red white trunks with red trim, weighing in at